and welcome back to Electronic Identity Crisis. My name is Ambu Bambu, and this time I'm joined by dilesmavis, aka Dana.
Hello, Dana.
Dana, Dana. Yeah, such a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's the first time we're meeting in real life, so that's always exciting.
Yeah, I'm very honored and surprised that you invited me, but yeah, it's nice to meet you finally also.
I think I forgot about this interaction we had, but we already spoke like quite a long time ago when you asked to come play at Relate, I think.
Then I got really sick afterwards, so then I just kind of never really got around back to it.
Yeah, but you weren't living in Groningen back then, yeah? You were already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just travel quite often, so I feel like it was also difficult to find the right time to play at Relate, which I always wanted to do, but I kept like postponing it. Yeah. So, but now I'm here.
Yeah, finally. So the reason why I thought you weren't living in Groningen, because I saw on your page that you also play a lot of sets in Utrecht, I think, and like all over the place.
Yeah.
So tell a bit more about yourself. Like, I'm really curious.
Yeah, it's cool to meet and get to know each other over live radio.
Yeah.
I played Stranded FM now for like a year and a bit. Was initially invited via a friend, and then I just got to know so many amazing people through there. Shout out Stranded FM. But also I think I kind of got into the whole radio world around COVID time. I think everyone kind of did, maybe. Or just like when you're just stuck in a space alone. You just listen to a lot of music and watch a lot of movies and read a lot of books. But then I was listening to NTS radio a lot and Relate radio as well. Radio Relativa based in Madrid. Then later Relate. And then actually because everyone stayed quite online, persistently online, I found this online community radio called Chant FM through then the NTS chat room. Shout out Chant FM, which became kind of a big part of the whole radio journey for me because it's completely built from scratch, and the guys there, a lot of them are my good friends and they're amazing. A lot of talented DJs there. So they just built this online platform, and there are just these two guys that are engineers. So then they set up the server, and then you can stream from home. It's not really a physical space. They don't have a booth. It's initially, they say that it's based in London, but actually it's because most of the people there are from London. That's why people think it's based in London. But maybe we can still keep the mystery. But a lot of them are also based in Amsterdam and The Hague and Utrecht.
That's really cool, though, that anyone from anywhere can also be part of the community.
Yeah, there's like, I guess, like a code that you can connect to, and you connect to the server. You have a setup at home, whether that's just a controller or if you have CDJs. And then you just play a slot. And because the chat room is always very active and people kind of get to know each other and then they meet in real life. This is how I've met a lot of these friends of mine. It's also like feels like a personal support because everybody is a huge music lover. So people are like, oh my God, what is this song? Or play this or play that. I don't know. It's just like this huge support. So from there, it started with like Chant FM and then Stranded FM. And because part of my family lives in Belgium, in Brussels, I played at Kiosk and at Gimmick as well. And that was really fun as well. But yeah, this is how it started, I guess, and still is going.
Yeah, so nice to hear about like your background, and also super interesting always to see how many different forms online radio can take as well. Like some of them are like hybrid situations with club radio, or some of them are completely like you said, they don't really have a location even.
No.
So yeah, it's so cool to see that you can choose whatever you want it to be, and you can make it yours.
Definitely.
Very nice. The reason why I wanted to invite you for this show is because I love your sets and like your musical storytelling, but I think one of the things that really stood out to me is that I primarily found listening sets on your profile. like not only ambient but like just very heavy on the listening and less so on the clubby side, which we were speaking a little bit about already. What entices you? What do you love so much about these types of music that you play, and why that type of music basically?
I guess I will also add that what actually kind of pushed me into trying to make, I wouldn't say make music per se yet. I'm trying to produce some music at the moment, which I've set myself a deadline. I think it's a nice challenge also, try and give yourself a voice and also to tell your story, because everyone is unique and has their own way and their own style. But I was always really interested in like these field recorded shows and sets. And there was this one show, actually, shout out Ande from Chant FM. There's a guy called Phil, and he did the show called Phil's Jazz Disjunction. And because I'm also a huge fan of jazz because of my dad, because he always played jazz when I was a kid, and I feel like I just know, I don't know, I know so many musicians, and Hans Styles Mavis, Miles Davis, this whole play when...
Yeah, I wanted to ask if that's where also the name came from.
Because, I mean, I think I made a chat room name just for fun, and I just played around. I thought, I think I was listening to Miles Davis at that point, and I thought I would just swap the letters, and it kind of stuck. And quite a lot of my friends who met me through radio actually call me Dials, which is funny, and I like it. I respond to it, and it's weird for me when people actually call me by my real name. The people that know me as Dials, I think it's funny. It sounds like a different kind of alter ego for me. And so, anyways, that show. He ends up being the brother of a guy that I meet through Chant FM, actually. I think he's like a brother, yes. And he did these amazing shows where he played music. Most of it was instrumental or classical or jazzy or ambient. And then he combined them with his own field recordings. I think he was like, I can't remember what recorder he had, but I think he was living in Berlin at the time. He was a musician and also worked at a bar. And it was his last show, I think, where he told a story of a bar that was closing down because they lost money. So he kind of like used all of his recordings from there. And I thought it was amazing. I felt like I was just there, and he used this recorder to like everywhere. And I could hear stories of how he sounds, how he was like working and making a cocktail behind the bar, or how at like 5 a.m. they were closing up, and he recorded just like he left it there at the bar, and you could hear how people like cleaning the bottles, and then they were talking, and there were just these people, like none of them were German, all of them were like Spanish, English, whatever, Greek, and they were all speaking in broken English or broken German. And then, like these kind of stories of him like waking up and then playing music. And I thought it was incredible. So that actually pushed me to buying a recorder. And then I started carrying it around with me everywhere, especially in Groningen, especially in like Rotterdam, where I was in, also in Amsterdam, and everywhere where I was traveling. I was just bringing it with me and just leaving it there somewhere on the table or in the mountains, hiking with my dad or my friends, just listening to, like capturing these like normal everyday sounds or just sounds of nature. And I thought that made me feel so present also, because the quality of the recorder, I have the Zoom H5 and it's amazing. And then listening back to it, I really felt like I wanted to tell similar stories, and then I started crafting my own. And then I think also the first show that I did was an NTS supporter show when they started doing it, and then they accepted it, and then they played it. And actually that's how some people somehow found me, through Instagram or through SoundCloud, and asked me later to join Stranded FM. And like a lot of them were based in the Netherlands, even though it's primarily based in like London. So it's kind of funny how like people find you or also connect with you over a sound or over a show or over music. So I generally really like it. But
that's so lovely. And you use these field recordings in your set as well?
Sometimes, I think now that I'm just constantly listening to music, constantly listening to old and new stuff, and also friends who are DJs and also music makers and producers. They influence me so much, and I find out so many amazing new producers and like just general tracks or labels, and I'm like, okay, I want to play this, I want to do that. But also this really pushes me to then also try and make my own thing, which I think is great. Also
I love how you said that field recordings make you feel so present. I really resonate with that. A few weeks ago, we did a field recording walk here in the Noorderplantsoen.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't here. I wanted to join, but
It was super cute. I don't have a recorder. I just have my phone. But even the act of walking around the park and like stopping somewhere, wondering if, you know, that tree would make a nice sound if you hit it with like your umbrella or something, just really funny things, especially how it looked visually. It was just so funny as well. But yeah, it was really like a sort of lesson in mindfulness as well, like just walking around and taking in your surroundings, and then choosing whether or not you want to press record at that moment. It was really a lovely exercise, I think. And I don't work with field recordings a whole lot, but I would love to do it more. Actually, I made those field recordings that I took back then. I made them into like a little sound collage that I used for a mix that I did recently. That was really fun. Like, also very a free feeling, like not having to adhere to like a really set song structure that dance music tends to have. So that was also really fun. I really resonate with that. I think I can't remember. Well, I could name a couple, but like the first person that comes into my head, I think, is Julian Sartorius, a Swiss producer, and he's a percussionist as well. And he obviously like gets inspired by sounds of like the natural beats, whatever he hits, like whether that's like a tree or a bucket or a stone. But also, I think he collects field recordings as well, and then makes them, like you say, like collages. And then you can even loop certain things, like certain sounds, like at a train station. I like the combination of like urban sounds and also just sounds in nature or the mountains, but also like conversations. What I also really like is that you just leave it there. You kind of forget, if you have like a tripod or you just leave it in a place, you forget that it's there and you just let the conversation flow, whoever you're talking to or the group. And then when I was listening back, I was realizing how chaotic a human conversation is, because there's like no sense. Like, you know, people are jumping back and forth from one topic to another, and then somebody interrupts, and then suddenly it's just a completely different thing. And then like in this over a span of like 10 minutes, you talk about 100 different things. And then you can hear how somebody says, "Oh wait, why are we talking about this?" Like, and I'm just like trying to like listen back, and I'm like, "Oh shit! Like this is so weird, like really crazy ADHD style kind of conversation." Like, but it is also almost like a collage. Like people are just like patching things together, and then in the end, it's like a whole thing. That's the conversation.
Yeah, and I found it quite funny. And then I made some funny ones, but also I made some kind of like, I would say, profoundish ones. Like I used to bring it around way more often, like a year and a half ago, and then like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But then like loads of things happen in the last year and a half when you are like in the middle of 1 million things work, and also like some love drama, breakups. You kind of forget about certain things. You don't find beauty in the present anymore. You just need to like sit there. So before, I was bringing it around with some friends, and some of my friends, they just are like incredibly smart and super wise. So they don't know it, but I know that I just left a recorder there, and I would just ask them a question, and they would just start giving this amazing advice. So then I would just like then listen back to it and then kind of incorporate it into a sound collage, as you say, or something. And it's a nice memory of like where I was mentally back then, where they were. And also in general, like if somebody just randomly listens to it, they really find it either great or fun or interesting or whatever. So
do you tell your friends after you record them?
I mean, I do ask like for permission sometimes, but then also they do see it. They do see it. They
They know.
They know they
Yeah.
can see this like pretty big thing with like a muffle thing. So I think they notice it, but then they still forget because
Yeah.
it's just there, and then you get kind of it's kind of like a camera, I guess, like this, like you forget that it's there,
Yeah.
but then you look back, or you listen back, and then you notice certain things that you think are interesting. Yeah, something like that.
Wow, really nice. Yeah, there's so much wisdom in the people around you. Usually, I tend to really forget that you can reach out to your friends in hard times, and then you do, and they have the most amazing advice ever. And I just always end up wondering like why I didn't do that sooner, because and I think it's such a beautiful thing for you to capture that moment and then have access to it when maybe you need it or you want to make it into a nice piece of art. So yeah, so cool to hear about this like way of going about sound, and also I guess just the people around you. I think it's really special. I've never heard of someone doing it like this before.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's weird. Maybe that's
it's not weird. No. I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I quite like it. I think it's very similar. Obviously, I bring a camera with me all the time. I really prefer analog modes of, photographing. Like, I just love it. I've loved it for, I don't know, almost 10 years now. And I love collecting memories. And then when I realized that I can also just do it musically, like audibly, because I remember back in uni, I was also like recording a lot of lectures, or I studied architecture. So like you have this like, you set up your work every week for your tutors or your lecturers to give you a critique. It's called a crit. And sometimes these people are super like, they're very famous architects that come in. Like we were lucky enough to like invite various different guests, and you want to remember what they said, because in the moment you're like you just write a word and like they see the feedback. But I was just recording them, and then listening back, I thought, wow, like these people are incredibly eloquent, and that idea was great, or that idea was trash. But still, like, you just kind of like I was already using it there, and then when I started using this, it was just another form of memory. So it just added to another hobby, which I think is fun. It's just like, it's always fun to be creative, in any way possible.
Yeah, it reminds me of a conversation I had with someone the other day about keeping a diary, because I used to do it a lot when I was really young. And I so sorely wish that I had access to those diaries right now, but I don't, because at a certain point I got so ashamed of having those diaries with all my like deepest, darkest thoughts in them that I threw them away.
Oh, shit.
Like in the bin. I made sure they would go on the bottom of the bin so no one would ever find them. And I now looking back, I wish so badly that I could read what I was thinking at that time, because I was still in elementary school, so it was really small. But I remember always having had immense, huge feelings always. So I'm just so curious what it would have been like, what I was thinking and how I was wording those feelings. And nowadays, I think I'm very conscious of the things that I want to remember. Like, I still do keep a diary, but now it's like in my phone, in my notes app or something. And I will write down things as well. Like feelings that I have, or like sort of mantras, things not to forget. It can be simple things like, everything is gonna be okay.
It's a good reminder.
Yeah,
actually.
Or like one of my best friends, she told me like, why aren't you as kind to yourself as you are to me? And I felt like, okay, I should also write that one down.
No, that's very profound. It's very important to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Always. I think you kind of learn that as you go. I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing it's only gonna get better from here.
Yeah.
Like, and I actually, it's funny. You're talking about journals. I still journal a lot, and even though I find it incredibly cringe to read through some of my ideas and thoughts, my parents just moved to a different house. So this summer I was we're going through a lot of boxes, and my dad was like, okay, this is your corner with all of your stuff. Please filter it out, what to keep, what not to keep. And it took me like 2 days to go through all of them, because a lot of them were journals and diaries, and I always drew as a kid and still do. And these like fun drawings, but also so many terribly cringe like notes and ideas. Some of them were actually amazing, because I had this habit of like rewriting quotes. I used to read a lot of philosophy. I still do sometimes, but I used to read a lot more when I was as a teenager and like in my like late teens and early 20s, and I would rewrite a lot of these quotes or just ideas. So it's very useful, actually. I was like, oh wow, this is great, like just to keep. But some ideas were just terrible. But I think it's kind of funny. Like I thought it was funny, so I kept it. I took some pictures and I sent it to some friends. Then they laughed. Yeah, but it's a shame that you had to throw it away.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's good to. I think it's nice to just write. I think it's very. I don't know. I like to write still, and like even the calendar that I have, I actually write it out. I still line the papers.
Oh wow!
Like a bullet journal style. I don't know. I've been doing it for years now, and I cannot. I also have a Google Calendar, but I still use that because I feel like I remember things better if I write it with my hand. So with a pen.
Yeah, it's I think just like a picture, it's a journal or diary is such a good way to look at yourself in a different point in time. Yeah, very cool. Cool stuff. Not to get too deep on this show.
You can get deep. But this is really fun already.
Yeah, we also brought some music. I think maybe we can get into a bit of that as well.
Sure.
I can start with one of my tracks and then we'll focus a bit more on your music.
Sure.
But a track I really wanted to play is one by a dear friend of mine called Lisa Dries. She released a new EP together with Mathilde Nobel on Intercept Records, which is where I also released my EP. And yeah, it's just beautiful. I don't know, it's somewhere between ambient and it's almost also clubby, but I don't know, just a lot of different things. And I feel like it's very fitting to my mood, so I wanted to play it. This is Akira.
Midsummer days, found a trophy on the street, carrying my name. Soft intentions, slow pace.
lovely new release on Intercept, Akaira by Lisa Dries en Mathilde Nobel. Yeah, we were just discussing while the track was playing about some of the other stuff that we're gonna play today in this section of the show. And do you have something lined up for us?
Yeah, well, since you're playing a track from your friend, I also wanted to play a track from a good friend of mine. We studied together at uni. We've known each other for a very long time.
Cute.
And he also just kind of blossomed into this like person of his own, and he's producing beautiful stuff now. And I think he was into electronic music before I was, so I was just watching him do his thing, and kind of then I think I picked it up as well, but at a different angle. But this is quite a beat, but I really like it. His name is Emmanuel. Artist name is Emmanuel, and this track is called Saffron.
Very cool track. I really like the like arpeggiated synth and the like kind of heavy kick. Super cool stuff. And also, I wanted to say about encountering someone you knew from like an earlier stage in your life, while you're like both doing something different nowadays.
Yeah.
I think that's also very interesting. You know, I also have had it happen to me. And we kind of lost touch. Like, it was a high school friend of mine as well. We kind of lost touch, and now we're also both doing music. So it's a really cool way to reconnect as well. And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, just wanted to share that. I don't know. I'm always so happy when I see her, and now we have all this new stuff we can talk about. Cool. I wanted to play another track that I found on Bandcamp, and I tell all my friends that the way to go when you want to look for cool stuff on Bandcamp is to use location filters. And because I am Chinese, I tend to look for a lot of stuff out of China, but also like the rest of Asia. And I found this really cool duo from, one of them is from Inner Mongolia and the other one is from Xinjiang. And they make, I don't know how to describe it. I think I'm better off just playing the track and then we can talk about it after. But yeah, it was just so special and I really wanted to share it today. This is, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Shall I try? The artist name is Taiga. I think the track is Dingildai, but I'm sorry if I botched that. Okay, so I remembered what I wanted to say about this track. It has throat singing, which is so cool. And the reason why... Okay, first of all, the track is really cool, but also I got into this rabbit hole on Instagram where I just got recommended videos of guys throat singing. So I was watching those videos for like a good hour or something. And then I found this music and I was like, okay, I have to play this in my next show. Yeah, I just love how they combine the throat singing with the electronic music. And I love when people incorporate their traditional cultural elements into modern stuff. And that's what I wanted to say about this track.
Nice. I will be playing one of my favorite tracks. It's called School Bell Treehouse, and it's also has how do I say this? It has Arthur Russell in it, which is probably the best thing ever for me because I love Arthur Russell and it's very upbeat. And I discovered it first last year when we had was it last year? Yeah, almost a year ago. We had a party at Benelux in Amsterdam with the Chant FM crew and a friend and a very talented DJ and producer, Val Clip. He played it in his set, and yeah, it's great.
School at it. Treehouse, 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 downtown.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a little bit of talk over. All right. We were just I actually don't know what to say about the music because we were yapping so much about other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we said before, we're just getting to know each other
Yeah.
while we're doing this show. And we were talking about how your country has the most beautiful nature.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, we kind of have like they say it's like the Alps of Central Asia. It is very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful, and loads of people hike there in the summer. There are so many different places, so many beautiful peaks and lakes, and just, I feel very lucky that I was exposed to this within my childhood, and it's a way of bonding with me and my dad, because we used to hike so often. Now he does less of that because of health and stuff. But
the reason why we were talking about that is because we were actually talking about like the electronic music scene as well. And you said it was quite popping off nowadays with a lot of festivals happening. And then I was like, must be nice to be there in nature and have music, and super cool stuff. I would love to visit one day.
you should.
Looking at the time, I think we have time for one more track before we get a nice set. And I think I will play Alba Fika, this fake remix by Ruiho. I always forget where she's from, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, but she's either from China or from Taiwan. And this Fig is also a super cool producer that usually ventures more on the like very sparse experimental techno side. And the track by Ruiho was more like ambient-y, so I thought it was a cool combination and a nice one to end this section of the show with. This is Alba Fika.
I'm in the maze, cause I ain't seen you in a long time. Chocolate skin, thick thighs, innocent eyes, so used to be mine with no commitment. You stay committed, hate to laugh, but then I took you through it. I still admit it, but your shape developed, looking tighter than ever we used to. What were smoking blunts for escaping all issues. Remember when I first tried to hit it, you held back. Now you smirking cause you was flirting, you was all that. My rap finally cracked surface. The weight was worth it after I hit it. Knew I was permanent for late, working plus all. Sex secrets never hit the streets, not compete. Oral sweet oil to spoil me. You was doing things in the sexiest ways. I'm still amazed at you. Have my back to this day from the way now I got you. Through the fire and rain, pleasure and pain. Change the riches, lost and gains. Whether wife or mistress, we stay. Cause we fitted it with it, and I ain't hit it in a long time. So I'ma hit it for a long time. Alizé with Hennessy, you never fade wine. We smoke weed and make money, that's my kind.
I'm troubled inside, my feelings to hide. How will I know this is real? Giving all that I own, then to dismantle to you. It's just another day. You won't even call.
Rise slowly, my eyes rise knowingly. The poesy of last night, your blood still holding me. Get off my bed and gather my head for another day in the life. I'd rather know I'm dead, but today is far-fetched. I catch the whole sketch out of sight like a brother in debt from lost bet. The untouched, one touch, this sun's time to run. I'm awake, the temptation of my mind overrun for motivation during the time of the sun. Or doing breakdowns in calisthenics to rebounds in athletics. Then I'm back studying ethics to expose synthetics. Flows pathetic, forget it. You're now laced with math, I'm based from ghetto concepts. Now I'm set to launch it. Clear the area, break down the barrier. There's no pity in the mega city, so I carry a full-blown conscience. Delete nonsense, meditational hours alone, killing the tenseness. Evaluate my song with common senses to fully understand who sent this. You see, I meant this. It's not a legacy endless for those that rose and chose a B-boy consensus. Try to stay on my everyday movement. Try to stay on my everyday movement. Try to stay on everyday movement. Try to stay on. My peers won, my gears on, I'm gone. It's never easy, it seems, for me achieving my dreams. So I conceive themes to ease fiends and brothers that believe on my team. See, I'm retrieving my means to keep my brain sane. Though I ain't playing, I'm saying some of us in it for fame, wanting the dollars to reign. I'm born giving, true and living MC. Do my decision, make decision with precision, so we be in the lab. Study the gift, the gap. My facts so hard, rhyme books get stabbed. I face judgments in abundance. In a professional world, it's no oneness. I do forbidden fruit, hitting truth off with the real scoop. There's many blind to truths I can find too. And since the 9-2, I wanted to professionally rhyme too. I never had to mind who was on top. I'm blessed with hip hop and stress the L top. My everyday movement, try to stay on. My everyday movement, try to stay on. My everyday movement, Stay on my everyday movement. Stay on the DVPKY at high speed. Back to my yard essence, my heart essence. I see right now. Baby, I'm with my own essence. My sections, my essence, my shit's too. Stop to vision and wake up. You want to
no Hallo, meine Lieben.
Der Schmutz hier ist das allerletzte.
Bewegung ist gesund.
Dancing! Dancing.
Glänzend und geschmeidig.
time and a God.
Hold me on to, hold me on to. There is no God. I want to challenge you. There is no God. And soon I will challenge the knowledge of the world.
I am the Alpha and Omega.
Hold me on to, hold me on to. There is no God.
Rock your
There is no God.
because you're near me, honey. But when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love. Heaven is in your eyes, bright as the stars we're under. Oh, is it any wonder I'm in the mood for love? Why stop to think of whether this little dream might fade? We put our hearts together. Now we are one. I'm not afraid if there's a cloud above, and it must rain